Hello, I'm Average Joe. Welcome back to the world. As you can tell, we're at a hole. We're actually in the mountain area. I figured I told Howling Crown we'd make a mob farm, and we never really got around to it. So I figured I'd start. I've been over here the last couple of days. You may notice that I have the Hero of the Village effect, and it's finally wearing down. It's been a couple days with that, actually. But yeah. So, there was a raid. Might put some pictures up. I took a couple of screenshots, unfortunately none while the raid was happening. But yeah. I was over at at our house over the mine at the farm, and I noticed that there were some raiders over by the melon and pumpkin area, and I figured, oh, I'll just ignore them, they'll go away eventually. So I came over here and I did some digging, and my pick started getting worn down, like it kind of is right now. It was a lot worse than that was, but irrelevant detail. So I go back over to the farm. I'm planning on doing some fishing to heal the pickaxe a little bit. And since the raiders like right in front of the melons and pumpkins, I can't really ignore them. Also, they started shooting at me. So I took out the one with the banner and got the bad omen effect. Which wasn't ideal, but I wasn't anywhere near the villager hotel, so I figured it won't do anything. But I might want to prepare for the inevitable battle I am going to have to fight. So I go over there and I go to the tree farm to get some sticks, because leaves drop sticks now, so I'm starting to get a big chest full of those. And as soon as I walk into the underground base, about halfway through, the raid hotbar shows up. It turns out the boundary for the village that I've made with the villager hotel reaches all the way past the mining house to just halfway into the tree area. In fact, the raiders spawned, like, around the tower. In fact, there was a whole train of them, like witches and pillagers and illagers and a ravager beast, which are a pain in the neck, by the way. They're just so powerful. I hate it. But yeah, there was just a whole train of them wandering around. It's like, oh, crap. So I go over to so at this point, I had just gotten some sticks from the tree farm, and I figure, oh crap, the raid started, I better go protect the hotel. So I go over to the hotel, and there was nothing. There was no village, there was no pillagers, illagers, ravager beasts. I expected at least another captain, but there wasn't anything over there. So I'm like, well, the villagers seem a bit glitched in this version, although that might have just been the update. And it's been said that there's like a bunch of bugs with 1.14, specifically chunk loading in 1.14. So I'm like, well, maybe the raid's bugged out, and I decide to go home and just figure it out when I get there. Well, I certainly found it out when I got there. It turns out all of the raiders just spawn near our house, and I just kind of panic. So I shut the door, and I start getting ready, and a illager, actually. I think a Vindicator just casually opens the door, kills me, and walks out. Which is not the best way to start a raid. But it was how I started my first one, so... Yeah, I must have died like 7 times. It wasn't the most, glamorous thing in the world. So, thankfully, I only died maybe 7 or 10 times. But after it was done, it turns out, the raiders cannot win in the village, because, as you know, I put all of the villagers and that into one building with gates at the front. You know, those things that villagers and illagers can't actually open. So the raiders didn't have a way to get into the hotel, and so they didn't have a way to, like, break beds or kill the villagers. So there was no way that that raid was gonna win. Of course, that didn't mean it was gonna be easy for me to beat them, considering I am one person and they are many. They are many, many. They are many, 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 many. So many. But yeah. That was my day this morning. After that, I kind of started playing Diversity 3. I downloaded it after watching the Yogscast play it for a little bit, so, yeah, finished that, decided to start recording, tell you about the, raid while it's still relatively fresh in my mind. To be honest, the most interesting thing that happened was the shock of the raiders more attacking my house than they were the hotel, and dying a lot. We actually did get a Totem of Undying out of that because an Evoker spawned, which I don't really know what to do with. I don't really get into combat. I suppose it'd be handy if another raid ever happens. But yeah. Also, since the hotel now counts as a village because of all the, beds and workplaces that I've put in there to make sure that the villagers are, you know, refreshing their trades, even though some of them aren't. I'm looking at you, Butcher. Cats are spawning. A lot. There have been 7 in the 3 days that those... Well, it's 3 days real time. It's really been more like... It hasn't been long, I don't think. But I got a cat now. It's at home, sitting on the chests where I think just miscellaneous storage is. So that's not accessible right now. But that's fine. I'm working over here more often than anything. They're in the sheep pen. These raids, you know, I went AFK to repair my diamond pickaxe, and it's just... Why? Why? Well, I have finished digging out that hole. It is pretty deep. Takes an entire stack of dirt to get up from the bottom. And I got most of what we mined in these double chests up here. This one didn't get filled, but it's mostly just stone and that in here. I put all of the ores that we collected into my inventory here so that you can kind of actually see what they were. And we got quite a bit of iron. So, that might help with all of our iron issues we've been having. So I am going to throw all of them in there and just kind of hope for the best. So it was, what, 2 stacks and... Ooh, I don't remember what it was. Minimum of 2 stacks at least. I don't think we'll have to worry about not smelting any of them. But, we didn't get any... We didn't get any fuel input put into that super smelter yet, so... yeah. Oh, it's already starting to come in. Man, this thing works quick. Anywho. So, hole, right? And eventually we're gonna put things in here that'll, right, where was I? Right. We'll put spawning platforms in here, a clock and things. Should probably take that out at some point as well. I won't fall down because I will die. But yeah, they're at the bottom. The water is going to flow the mobs all the way up over there, where they will either be killed by a magma block, or be killed by the player. So that would be flowing them here, I think? Yeah, so there is going to be a new building in this space here at some point. Gonna have to figure that one out. Probably actually do that before we do anything in there, because we want to make sure that we have the water system working alright. Especially since, once we go down there, there's no way to get back up unless we have the water system. Also, unless everything is... What am I trying to say? I don't know. Okay, well, it's been a while. I ran back home because I needed to get some soul sand, and my cat followed me here. So this is Sugar. I don't think I've showed her off yet. Sometimes she leaves me some treats. So I'm going to be pretty much just digging straight down now, which probably isn't the best idea. But I'm going to be digging to 11, then I'm going to be digging that way. And then we'll be in the main area. So... there we are. Light of day. Okay, so I've been trying to get this flowing system to work in a diamond pattern, but there's so many just dead spots that I'm just gonna fill this in and start again. Also, I have 15 diamond ore just from mining this out. I do not have a Fortune 3 pickaxe, so I will not be mining that. But that is a very useful little resource for later on. Alright, I've made a lot more progress on the hole here. And now it is the world's easiest dropper. Just fall in. Can't miss it. So I made everything just a square down here to make it easier on me. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I've also got the water in the bottom set up, so everything should flow down. The one problem we're going to have, and I think I've said it before and I cannot stress it enough, the one problem we're going to have is with spiders. Because those are 2 wide and this hole is only 1 wide. So only skeletons and zombies and creepers are going to be able to get in here. Which is a problem, because string. But the other problem is if we get to the end here, and I'm just not holding any of the keys right now just to demonstrate this. Might as well just... At the end here, we're going to have another problem, because mobs are just going to get here and stop. So we're going to have to rely on mobs pushing each other into this, which is not good, but it's the only option we have right now. So mobs get pushed into this bubble stream and they go all the way up. Takes a minute. Then they just fall in. That's all there is to it. Honestly, I would have put a piston at the bottom there, but there's not enough space for it. Like, there's bedrock right beneath there. We couldn't put a piston in there if we wanted to. So I put ice there to encourage mobs to just slide in. Hopefully that helps. Probably won't. But yeah, they'll fall right into here, and then we can kill them with swords or whatever we need. Now, there are no spawning platforms in this yet. One, because I'm not sure where to start that, and 2, it's really fun to just fall in here. Which isn't a very good reason to not put in the spawning platforms, but it's just so much fun to just drop down the hole. And also, I'm really having a hard time figuring out what to do about the spiders. I'm thinking of putting some lava at the bottom there, so that the spiders, when they inevitably start cramming up, it just burn to death. But then we'd have to deal with their drops, and while I certainly could do that, not sure how I would go about doing that. So yeah, right where these signs are, like in the middle of that is probably where I'd put the lava. Now there's like 2 problems with that. While the spiders would die, so would any mob that gets into that. And also, the drops all pile up here. So we'd need a hopper here, and just a way to carry those items over. And I don't have a way right now. I could, theoretically, put a hopper there and a dropper here and just spit them out underneath the slabs here, because these slabs are kind of needed to keep the mobs moving. Because I do want this to be an experience farm, because the only other experience farm in the world right now is a fishing farm, and that's horribly inefficient. Horribly inefficient. important. So it'd be nice to have something better. The thing is, bedrock. So if we did do that, well, there is a small chance we wouldn't be able to do that because redstone and not being able to put droppers and stuff down. But I think I might try that just to see if that works. I don't know if the items will actually move. I don't know like how loading works in the game. But we've got a crap ton of iron, so right here, so it is somewhat feasible. This is literally all the iron we have in the world, 20 blocks plus 8. Yeah, that's it. So I don't know if this is going to be enough for what we need, but I'm willing to try it. Right, well, everything should be set up now, so all we gotta do is wait and see what happens. Meow. I did. Yep, there it is. So it more or less works. And I do mean more or less because the next thing we gotta do is throw some lava in there, and I don't know if signs burn. But yeah, this video has gone on long enough. Oh, excuse me. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. Don't be like me, get some sleep, and next time, yeah, we'll probably just work on this if Howling Crown isn't here. If he is here, then I'm probably still going to work on this. But we will also do cards, because that's kind of what this series was supposed to be about. I'll see you next time.